Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Myself Maryam Fatma from BS Biochemistry. Today my topic of presentation is chloroform. Contents include introduction, structure of chloroform, physical and chemical properties, preparation of chloroform, some chemical reactions, history of chloroform, applications of chloroform, and its impact on human body and environment, and in the end, conclusion. So let's start with the introduction. Chloroform is a trichloromethane derivative that is colorless, volatile, has an ether-like odor. It was once employed as an inhalation anesthetic during surgery, but it is now mostly utilized in the industry as a solvent and in the manufacturing of refrigerant freons. Let's learn about chloroform in detail, including its formula, structure, properties, and uses. Structure of chloroform. A relatively simple organic compound with the formula CHCl3. Chloroform is made up of a central carbon atom that is attached to 3 chlorine atoms and 1 hydrogen atom. This means that the chloroform molecule has a tetrahedral geometry. Chloroform tetrahedral structure belongs to the C3b symmetry group, which is characterized by a three-fold axis with three symmetrical vertical planes. According to the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, these geometrical symmetries are created by electrostatic forces between electrons. These forces make the surrounding atoms as far away from each other as possible, leading to a molecule's geometrical symmetries and specific angles. In the case of chloroform molecule, the repulsive forces between the surrounding hydrogen and chlorine atom make a structure perfect tetrahedral, as you can see in this picture. At the center of chloroform's tetrahedral molecule is a carbon atom. Since this is surrounded by 3 chlorine atoms and 1 hydrogen atom, a covalent intramolecular bond is formed, making the molecule slightly polar. That is why allows chloroform to be soluble in water. The structure of the chloroform molecule is determined by these chemical bonds. In turn, the structure determines how the molecule reacts with other chemicals as well as how it interacts with biological functions like the firing of neurotransmitters. Now we discuss some of the physical properties of chloroform. As you can see in this table, I have written some of the common physical properties of chloroform, which is the chemical formula, density, molecular weight, boiling point and melting point. Chloroform is a colorless liquid with an ethereal odor and a sweet smell. It is sparingly soluble in water but readily soluble in organic solvents. Its density is 1.489 gram per milliliter. Its boiling point is 61.2 degrees Celsius and its freezing point is 63 degrees Celsius. It is nearly insoluble in water but soluble in ether and alcohol. It burns with green edged flame. The vapors of chloroform when inhaled causes unconsciousness. Although it is naturally occurring chemical, the majority of chloroform in the environment is man-made. Today, the United States produces nearly all of the chloroform used in the production of other chemicals. However, it also sells or exchanges some of its products with other nations. India imports chloroform as well. When chloroform is exposed to the air, it swiftly evaporates because of chloroform does not adhere well to dirt. As a result, it might go down to the groundwater level through the soil. Chemical properties of chloroform. The reaction of chloroform with acetone is extremely explosive in alkaline condition or in the presence of a solid base. Dinitrogen tetroxide and chloroform combinations are also explosive. Polyhalogenated organic compounds, which are a particularly significant class of chemicals, are made possible by the high reactivity rate of halogens. Chloroform is a member of this group of chemicals. Such chemicals have been shown to have negative impacts on the environment as well as the human body. Despite this, because of their great usefulness and a wide variety of applications, business continue to employ these compounds. Chloroform produces sodium acetate, sodium hydroxide, and water. When it interacts with the base sodium hydroxide, the chemical formula is shown below. Phosgene and hydrochloric acid are formed when chloroform is oxidized. The chemical formula is shown below. As you can see, this picture shows the melting and boiling point of chloroform. Now we discuss some of the preparations of chloroform. The industrial method of preparation from methane. On industrial scale, chloroform is prepared by the chlorination of methane, as you can see in this equation, from carbon tetrachloride. Chloroform can also be prepared on an industrial scale by partial reduction of carbon tetrachloride with iron fillings and steam. When CCl4 reacts with two suitable catalysts, chloroform plus hydrochloric acid forms. Laboratory method of preparation. In the laboratory, chloroform is obtained from ethanol or acetone by reaction with bleaching powder and water. In this reaction, bleaching powder serves as a source of chlorine. As you can see in this reaction, the various reactions involved are in the case of ethanol. When ethanol reacts with chlorine, oxidation occurs and ethanol with hydrochloric acid forms. And when ethanol reacts with chlorine, chlorination occurs and trichloroethanol forms with hydrochloric acid. And in turn, when trichloroethanol reacts with calcium hydroxide, hydrolysis occurs and chloroform forms. Now this is the apparatus of laboratory preparation of chloroform. About 50 gram of bleaching powder is mixed with 100 ml of water to make a paste. This is then transferred into a 500 ml round bottom flask. About 15 ml of acetone or 12 ml of ethanol is also added to the flask. And the apparatus used is arranged as shown in the figure. Now the flask is heated gently over a water bath. A mixture of chloroform and water is obtained at distillate. The distillation is stopped when no more chloroform passes over. The mixture of the receiver is passed into the separation funnel and the lower layer of chloroform is separated. It is washed with a dilute solution of sodium hydroxide and then dried over anhydrous calcium chloride. It is finally purified by redistillation and collecting the fraction passing over between 60 to 65 degrees Celsius. These are some chemical reactions of chloroform. First of all, oxidation. Oxidation is slowly oxidized. Chloroform is slowly oxidized into a highly poisonous compound phosgene by air in the presence of sunlight. As you can see in this reaction, when chloroform reacts with O2 in the presence of sunlight, carbonyl chloride, which is phosgene, produced. As chloroform is used for anesthetic purposes, therefore its oxidation to phosgene must be prevented. Hydrolysis. Chloroform on boiling with aqueous KOH hydrolyzed to form potassium formate. Chloroform when react with KOH, potassium formate plus KCl plus H2O form. Reduction. Chloroform on reduction with zinc and hydrochloric acid gives dichloromethane. However, on reduction with zinc dust and water, methane is obtained. As you can see in the first equation, dichloromethane is obtained, and in second, methane is obtained. Now reaction with nitric acid. Chloroform on heating with concentrated nitric acid forms chloropicrin, which is used as an insecticide in war gas. Chloroform when reacted with nitric acid forms chloropicrin, as you can see in this reaction. Action with silver powder. Chloroform on warming with silver powder gives acetylene. When chloroform reacts with silver and heated, acetylenes form with silver chloride. Riemann-Tiemann reaction. Now we discuss about this. Chloroform on heating with phenol, an alcoholic potassium or sodium hydroxide solution forms salicyl aldehyde. This reaction is called the Riemann-Tiemann reaction. As you can see, when phenol reacts with chloroform and KOH and heated, 2-hydroxybenzaldehyde plus KCl plus H2O forms. Now we will discuss the history of chloroform, development of chloroform. Also called trichloromethane, chloroform is prepared through the chlorination of methane gas. It was first prepared in 1831 by the American chemist Dr. Samuel Goethe, who combined whiskey with chlorinated lime in an attempt to produce a cheap pesticide in 1847. The Scottish physician Sir James Young Simpson first used the sweet-smelling, colorless, non-flammable liquid in an anesthetic. When administered by dripping the liquid onto a sponge or cloth held so that the patient inhaled the vapors, chloroform was seen to have necrotic effects on the central nervous system and produced these effects relatively quickly. On the other hand, there were higher risks associated with chloroform than with ether, and its administration required greater physician skills. There were early reports of fatalities due to chloroform, beginning with a 15-year-old girl in 1848. Skill and care were required to differentiate between an effective dose and one that paralyzed the lungs and causing death. Fatalities were widely publicized, and risks involved led some patients facing surgery to decline anesthesia and brave the pain. Still, the use of chloroform spread quickly, and in 1853 it was famous administration to Britain's Queen Victoria during the birth of her eighth child, Prince Leopold. Military use of ether and chloroform. American military doctors began using ether as an anesthetic on the battlefield during the Mexican-American War 1846 to 48, and by the 1849 it was officially issued by the U.S. Army. Though many army doctors and nurses had experienced this with using ether by the time of the Civil War. Chloroform became more popular during the conflict due to its faster acting nature and a large number of positive reports of its usage during the Crimean War. In the 1850s, during the Civil War, chloroform was used whenever it was available to reduce the pain and trauma of the amputation of other procedures. Now we will discuss some of the applications of chloroform. Chloroform has various applications and uses. Anesthetic, historically used in medical procedures, particularly in dentistry. Solvent, employed in laboratory settings and industries for extraction, cleaning, manufacturing of chemicals. Intermediate, used in the production of dyes, pesticides like chloropicrin and other compounds. Heat transfer medium, used in fire extinguishers. Fumigant, used for stored grain, crops. Antiseptic, destroyed bacteria, viruses and pests. Now we discuss some of the applications of chloroform in detail. Refrigerant. Chloroform is used as a precursor to make R22-chlorodifluoromethane. This is done by reacting it with a solution of hydrofluoric acid, which fluorinates the CHCl3 molecule and releases hydrochloric acid as a byproduct. Before the Montreal Protocol was in force, most of the chloroform produced in the United States was used in the production of chlorodifluoromethane. However, its production remains high as it is key precursor of PTFE. Although chloroform has properties such as low boiling point and low global warming potential of only 31, which are appealing properties for a refrigerant, there is little information to suggest that it has seen widespread use as a refrigerant as any consumer products. It also uses as a reagent. As a reagent, chloroform serves as a source of dichlorocarbene intermediate CCl2. It reacts with aqueous sodium hydroxide, usually in the presence of phase transfer catalyst, to produce dichlorocarbene CCl2. This reagent affects orthoformylation of activated aromatic rings such as phenols, producing aryl aldehydes in a reaction known as Riemann-Tiemann reaction. Alternatively, the carbene can be trapped by an alkene to form a cyclopropane derivative. Now, chloroform as an anesthetic. The most important discovery that has been made in the practice of medicine since the introduction of vaccination is undoubtedly the power of making persons perfectly insensible to the most painful surgical operations by the inhalation of the vapors of ether, chloroform, and other agents of the same kind. We need to know that the chloroform is used as an anesthetic, a drug causing temporary loss of bodily sensation to some extent. As an anesthetic, pure chloroform is prepared by distilling chloral hydrate with concentrated aqueous solution of caustic soda, sodium hydroxide. As you can see in this reaction, when chloral hydrate heated with sodium hydroxide, chloroform plus sodium formate and water formed. Chloroform used for extraction of DNA. Phenolchloroform DNA extraction method is a well-known and widely accepted DNA extraction method since long. Phenolchloroform and isoamyl chloroform are top 3 ingredients which is used in liquid DNA extraction. The solubility is an important property of any biological molecule. Different molecules can be separated on the basis of their solubility in solution or water. The liquid DNA extraction method separates DNA molecule on the basis of their solubility in immiscible solution, and this is the basic principles of phenolchloroform DNA extraction method. The phenolchloroform DNA method is more effective along with isoamyl alcohol. Therefore, sometimes it is also called the PCI or phenolchloroform isoamyl alcohol method of DNA extraction. Role of each chemical is explained here. First of all, we discuss the role of phenol. DNA is insoluble in phenol because phenol is a non-polar solution. On the other side, protein has both polar and non-polar group because protein is a long chain of different amino acids. Different amino acids have different groups present on their side chain. Also, the folding of the protein into the secondary, tertiary and quaternary structure depends on the polarity of the amino acid. Collectively, the bonds between amino acids are broken by the addition of phenol and protein is denatured. We can say the protein becomes unfolded by addition of phenol. Chloroform. Chloroform increases the efficiency of phenol for denaturation of the protein. Here, chloroform allows proper separation of the organic phase and aqueous phase, which keeps DNA protected into the aqueous phase. Chloroform denatures the lipids as well. Isoamyl alcohol. Remember the forming during phenol mixing. In the phenolchloroform DNA extraction method, isoamyl alcohol helps in reducing foaming between interface. It prevents emulsification of solution. The liquid phase contains DNA and the organic phase contains lipid and other impurities. The precipitated protein denatured and coagulated between both these phases. This will create the cloudy whitish foam between interface. The anti-foaming agent isoamyl alcohol stabilizes the interface by removing the foam. This will increase the purity of DNA. Advantages. The phenolchloroform DNA extraction method is traditional and widely accepted in genomic research. The amount of DNA obtained from PCI method is very high. Also, the quality of DNA is very good as well. The PCI method of DNA extraction is cheap and reliable. Chloroform used in the extraction and purification of chemicals. Chloroform is used as an extraction solvent for fats, oils, greases, rubber, waxes, gutta-percha, resin, lacquers, floor polishes, artificial silk manufacture, gums and adhesives. It is utilized as an industrial solvent in the extraction or purification of some antibiotics, alkaloids, vitamins and flavors. Only one of it is described here, which is chloropicrin. Chloropicrin is also known as PS from port sunlight, and nitrochloroform is a chemical compound currently used as a broad spectrum antimicrobial fungicide, herbicide, insecticide, and nematicide. It was used as a poison gas in World War I and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Today, chloropicrin is manufactured by the reaction of nitromethane and sodium hypochlorite, as you can see, but reaction of chloroform and nitric acid also yields chloropicrin. Now, when we discuss chloroform, its criminal uses comes in our mind naturally. Chloroform has been used by criminals to knock out days or even murder victims. Joseph Hale was charged in 1894 with using chloroform to rob people. The use of chloroform as an incapacitating agent has become widely recognized, bordering on clinch. Through the adoption by crime fiction, authors of plots involving criminals use of chloroform-soaked rags to render victims unconscious. However, it is nearly impossible to incapacitate someone using chloroform in this way. It takes at least 5 minutes of inhalation of chloroform to render a person unconscious. Most criminal cases involving chloroform involve co-administration of another drug such as alcohol or diazepam, or the victim being complicit in its administration. After a person has lost consciousness owing to chloroform inhalation, a continuous volume must be administered and the chin must be supported to keep the tongue from obstructing the airways. A difficult procedure typically requiring the skills of an anesthesiologist. Chloroform also causes death, and in criminal cases like robberies, rape, and board, the victim could not survive the dose of chloroform and died because of it. Now we will discuss the chloroform impact on human body. Much of the toxicologic information on chloroform has been developed because of its uses as an anesthetic. The literature is replete with papers on anesthetic potency and liver injury. High concentration of chloroform result in necrosis and anesthesia. The most outstanding effect of acute exposure is depression of the central nervous system. Responses associated with exposure at less than anesthetic or pre-anesthetic concentration are typically inebriation and excitation passing into necrosis. Vomiting and gastrointestinal upset may be observed. Exposure to high concentration may result in cardiac sensitization to epinephrine and similar compounds, as well as liver and kidney injuries. In cases of chronic or repeated exposure to chloroform, liver injury is most typical. Although injury to the kidney is not as common as that to the liver, it may be observed from either acute or chronic exposure. This picture shows some of the symptoms of chloroform on human body, which is dizziness, mental dullness, confusion, distorted perception, loss of appetite, nausea, headache, fatigue, anesthesia, hypertomegaly, jaundice, eye irritation, and the targeted organs which are discussed above as kidney, liver, heart, eyes, and of course central nervous system. Chloroform impact on environment. These products have made our lives better and have improved our standards of living, but some products of science and its discoveries have had adverse effects on the human body and on the environment. The uses and applications of chloroform are now overshadowed by its harsh effects on the environment and the human body, and hence the use of this compound has been significantly suppressed in most countries. Chloroform evaporates very quickly when exposed to thin air. It also dissolves very quickly in water but does not stick to the soil very well. Chloroform lasts very long in the air and groundwater. Most chloroform in the air breaks down, but this process is slow. This breakdown products in the atmosphere include phosgene, which is more dangerous than chloroform, and hydrogen chloride. Exposure to small quantities of chloroform can be taken by inhaling the air as well. The amount of chloroform expected to be in air ranges from 0.02 to 0.05 parts of chloroform per billion of air, and from 2 to 44 ppb in drinking water. However, in some places the concentration of chloroform may be higher than 44 ppb. This picture shows some of the damages and effects of chloroform. It is dangerous to humans at 50 ppb. In higher concentration, chloroform can contribute to ambient ozone. It has a long lifetime in the atmosphere and can be transported long distances. Now I end my conversation with the conclusion. As you all know about chloroform very well now, it has useful as well as dangerous uses. It depends on person's ability to use it for better purposes. It has a lot of industrial applications. Now it stopped using as an anesthetic in majority of the world. It surely uses in crimes which has very bad impacts on humans. I hope you like my presentation. This is all from my side. Thank you so much.